Hello friends, just a really quick sharing with you guys on twin flames. I have been asked a lot about twin flames and what I think about them and if I believe that it's a real thing. And lately it's been coming up again. A really beautiful friend and colleague of mine, Freya, who works a lot with sexual energy and the sexual mystery, who I think is really wonderful, posted something on her page about twin flames too, and it got me thinking, and I wanted to share with you finally what I do think about twin flames. And I guess my answer is basically I don't know, because I don't. However, my feeling and the download that I've been getting around it is that, the idea that we have a twin flame, which is basically, someone with whom we're not complete, to me just never really sits right, because we're completely complete, and as we are, when we let go of our ego identity, I am part of everything all at once. So for that reason, it's never sat well with me on a theoretical level. And what I'm starting to see, and the download that I got in a meditation that I was doing on this, is that the experience, some of us have a real experience that when we meet somebody, we feel an instant connection, and we're able to connect on a very, very high vibration. We're able to connect on a very high level, have that kind of ESP where you know what they're going to say, something's happened to them when they're far away from you. But more than that, you just feel your heart is able to expand exponentially, and you are able to share on very, very subtle levels. And I think sometimes people might think this is a twin flame. There's another idea of what twin flames are, and that is that when you meet someone, you love them, but it's really, really challenging. And a lot of people say when they're in a relationship like that, but it's my twin flame, and so we're supposed to be together to help burn through karma. So these two ideas of twin flames, this is my thoughts on it. I think that when you're with someone who's super challenging, often, is it your twin flame? More often than not, if a relationship's extremely challenging, you're probably in the wrong relationship. Relationships are challenging because being in this world is challenging, and being a conscious person is, and being with another person is going to have you constantly looking at yourself and engaging your inner world and learning to be more present and more loving, and people trigger you. And so if you're with someone who's triggering you a lot, that's fine, so long as you're able to come back to your own self and process it. But also, so long as the relationship in itself is mostly good and enjoyable, because if it's not, then there's no point in being in it. You can have that person in your life to trigger you if you want, without them being your personal partner. Personally, for me, and everybody's different, you might find that actually being in a relationship with someone who triggers you all the time and has you feeling completely distraught all the time, maybe that's your journey this life, and that's fine. But if you are like a lot of people who come to me for help in those situations and don't want it to be like that, then probably you're not in the right relationship. For me, and for most of the women that I work with, the primary relationship is a place to come back to feel safe and held, because the world out there is where, for me, I do all my processing. Not to say I don't process in my relationship, I do, but mostly it's a place of safety and comfort. And as for the other idea that a twin flame is someone with whom you can connect on that really deep and profound level, my feeling around this is that that's an experience of two people who come together that are profoundly awake, and that could happen with more than one person. When I'm deeply, deeply connected and really in a profound state of awakeness, which isn't all the time, but when I am in that state, then when I come together with another person who's also in that state, then we have those kind of experiences. Now, if in addition to that, with that person, I have an attraction, a sexual attraction, and we end up being sexual partners, then it's going to be extremely profound. And we will have those experiences of deep connection, being able to go into those spiritual spaces together at the same time. And it's one of the most incredibly beautiful, enriching and satisfying experiences in this body that you can have. Do I believe that you can only have that with your one twin flame? No. I personally believe that that experience happens when two people are profoundly conscious, profoundly awake, and come together in that space. These are my feelings, my thoughts on the situation and on the subject, and I'd love to hear what yours are.